little cash to blow, got a little cash to throw. Lit, we ain't passing though, no we ain't passing bro. Got a little fashion on me, little drip splashing on me. Just a little fashion. Straight to the bank like Frankie, then I go ghost like Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Then I go ghost like Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Then I go ghost like Stoney. Hair to the back like Cleo. Let them things off like TT. I tell a low can't see you, but my little drip so 3D. Watch when I pop out. Pulling they cards like hallmarks. They don't ever pop out. Let them hoes hate they all marks. Say they want passion. I'm just trying to cash in though. Lit little classy so goddess got a little ass to throw. They don't want smoke like asthmatics. I've been about these mathematics. Made a whole bag off bad habits. Y'all don't make moves, y'all all traffic. Y'all got a little cash to blow, got a little cash to throw. Lit, we ain't passing though, no we ain't passing bro. Got a little fashion on me, little drip splashing on me. Just a little fashion. Straight to the bank like Frankie, then I go ghost like Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Then I go ghost like Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Then I go ghost like Stoney. Now I've been real mute. Why they got real cute? Mad I got real deal checks for the way that a real one move. Double up quick, new pace. Got a good heart with a screw face. No, I don't need me a new case. Roll it up, pack tight like a suitcase. Need the bag big as a blimp. Light little scallop and shrimp. Hop in the toast in my town. So they won't come take a sip. I don't be fucking around. No, not the one to play with. Can't be out smoking with clowns. Got my own loud in the zip. Keep me a flip, I'ma get it off. 3 chicks with me, set it off. Yardies in back with to let it off. How will I'm fly, so I'm jetting off. Ain't shit changed, never did. Stay the same, know what it is. Stacking checks and they all in my name, y'all. Got a little cash to blow, got a little cash to throw. Lit, we ain't passing though, no we ain't passing bro. Got a little fashion on me, little drip splashing on me. Just a little fashion. Straight to the bank like Frankie, then I go ghost like Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Then I go ghost like Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Cash out, Stoney. Then I go ghost like Stoney.
He said big up every money maker. Every day we just start cheddar. All faces me say, get the 5 letter MONEY. Every second, every minute, dollar signs for me mind. Big house I fi buy, well up in the sky. Big Benz, big range, and the beamer man a drive. Big up every hustler, we make it in a life. You see me say, more money, more let me say. All faces, dead presidents, crypto, all type of money man I spend. Money pile to the sky like the scraper them. US, pounds, Canadian, yen. Anywhere we go, you know the place of shell. Man a big spender, we no need for pretend. Not less than 20 back up on the walking. Big Benz, big beamer, where the thugs driving. Alexander McQueen are the your to me thing. Half white jeans, icy, ever drippy. Blue faces in my pocket, creepy. More money, more dollars. More money, more dollars. More money, more dollars. More money, more dollars. Money pile, money stack to the sky. Every day, more money for my mind. When it come to the dollar sign, me no waste time. More money, man, I pray. M.O.P. The chips off his stack like ruffle. The dead presidents, them nothing at the duffel bag. Every day, we pop tags. Dior, man, I cash out the store. Money to burn, them fit know what the code, we know. Ramp it, turn it up, anywhere we roll, we know. Talk what me make the money talk for me. Splash, everything I dash, you see me? Blue note, pink note, green note. High grade, big runs where we smoke. The money have your catty ready for go deep throat. Every day, more money, me promote. More money, more dollars. More money, more dollars. More money, more dollars. More money, more dollars. Money pile, money stack to the sky. Every day, more money for my mind. When it come to the dollar sign, me no waste time. More money, man, I pray. M.O.P.
Young, black, and witty as fuck, so you can join in the club of niggas pushing they luck. My niggas 40 and up. Ridiculed by niggas 40 and up. Time's up now, surely it's us. Time ticket to the album drop. Euro with the bread like a hero with the fixes. The MC flipping with the arms like a Nero. Shot like Rick Fox when I parlay with the Vixens. Breaking like Turbo at the shop with the broomstick. Mitigate the 8 balls pushing by the pool stick. Dash like Stacy with the cash, got him clueless. Cherry on top, I can do without the cool whip. Born in mid-May, I can do without the bullshit.
Yo, what's going on, people? Unless you live on Leaf for Rock, you understand what's going on in the city right now. And this is getting to be like long-winded, but I really want to see if I could touch one person with this fucking video. And you can't end crime. It's part of that. There's a lot of, I mean, banning guns, locking people up. Crime is such a bigger social problem than the obvious. But I want to talk about my experience in the city of Boston. And obviously, if you cut the music here, my name is Bobby Shakes. I'm a dancehall photographer. I've been covering dancehall globally since 1999. I also, before that, I worked for the Source magazine. Before that, I worked for Warner Brothers. So I've been in the music industry for a long fucking time. And I'm doing this video selfishly, obviously, because I'm a human being, because I have 3 boys, but also for all the young boys and all the young females that are just trying to fucking have a good time in the city. So I'm going to go way back, and then I'm going to bring you guys up to speed. So I'm at my mom's house years ago, and I'm out, and I'm just chilling. You know, it's the middle of the day, and I'm just chilling. Edited some footages, and, you know, just chilling, you know, watching First Take and shit. And my doorbell rings, and I answer the door, and it's a dude in a fucking like khaki pants and blue shirt. And I open up the door, and the first thing came to my head, I'm like, man, I don't want to buy any Girl Scout cookies. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're selling. I mean, the white dude looked like a fucking Amway salesperson. That's how I looked at it. So I opened up the screen door, and he says, this is Boston Police. I have a search warrant. What? Hi, this is Sergeant such and such. I'm with Boston Police. I have a search warrant. What? Hi, this is Boston Police. Sergeant such and such. I have a search warrant for you, for the owner of Shakes Industries. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, does this dude know that, we are making more money than the drug dealers? But does he know that I'm a reggae website? I sell advertisement to companies. That's how I make money. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not killing people. We're not doing prostitution. So why would Boston Police have a search warrant for me? For what? So he proceeds to say that the reason why he has a search warrant. Oh, here comes my little boy. My little boy is running around the crib. He's all like, you should be hugging me, not talking. Well, I'm doing this for you, little guy. I would show you my little boy, but his agent doesn't allow him to do YouTube because he doesn't get paid enough. He only does Twitch. My little guy only does Twitch. So Boston Police says, yeah, they have a search warrant and they want to come inside the house to see my photos. And I said to the police officer, like, what is this about? Like, what are you doing? What do you mean you got a search warrant? He goes, yeah, there was a shooting at a boat ride at the seaport. And through investigations, you are the person that has the video footage of the victim and the shoot and the perpetrator, and we want access to that. I said to the police officer, I can't give you that content. That's intellectual content. I know you have a search warrant, but that the Constitution defends my right. I can't just give you this information. I said, if you want to go on BobbyShakes.com and look at the boat ride photos, you're more than welcome, because that's public. That's public. Anybody can. But you can't come here and seize content from me, even if you have a search warrant, because... So he left after we went back and forth for a half hour, and he's talking about there's a crime and there's a murder, and the guy that did the shooting is gonna get away. And I'm like, dude, I'm a photographer who's trying to push my culture globally. Why am I involved in between two guys in a fight at a boat ride? Like, that has nothing to do with me. So he runs away, and he walks away, and later we did an IP address scan on the back end. So basically, the FBI could log onto your website and hide their IP address. So what we did was, because we're just as smart as the FBI, we ran an IP finder, and I pulled up the FBI's string. So I was able to see when the FBI was logging onto my website. After this encounter with Boston police, we then started running IP address checks on the back end of BobbyShakes.com. And it turned out that the FBI was logging onto BobbyShakes.com every single Monday morning, like clockwork. Why? Because all the guys selling drugs and shootings, they like to go to the parties with their baby mamas and show themselves on camera. I don't know. That's what gangsters do. Personally, if I was shooting people and selling drugs, you would never see my face. Not even the people that work for me would know who the hell I am. I would be like behind a curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. Like, this would be me.
Be like, go and sell all those drugs and guns to the kids and bring back the money.
My voice would be distorted. You would never see who I am. But this is what these shotters or thugs do. While I'm downstairs at my mom's house, now imagine if my mother was there. If my mother was there, she would have opened up the friggin' front door and allowed the Boston police to come through and dig up my bedroom and take all the servers. And then once all that content is gathered, then because Shakes Industries is a corporation, then I have to hire a corporate attorney to defend me. So now I got to spend, and a corporate attorney starts off at 10 grand. So now I got to go take 10 grand out, get a corporate attorney to reclaim all the stuff that Boston police just took out of my house. And remember, what you guys don't understand is everything, all electronics, if you look at the bottom of your electronics, it's governed by the FCC. I don't know if you guys have ever been raided by the FBI, but we've been raided by the FBI. When the FBI comes in, they take everything that's electronic. Because anything that's electronic is governed by the FCC. Once it's governed by the FCC, that means it's property of the United States government. That means it could be seized and held for evidence. Right? So now you got to go downtown to the JFK building, and now you got to go up against the FBI, which is like, you don't beat the FBI. The only way you beat the FBI if the prosecutor gets COVID that day, and then they delay the case. But these are all the things that's going through my mind. And I'm thinking, if my mom was here, this thing would have been crazy. So I'm thinking in my head, and I'm downstairs, and I'm thinking, why am I involved in this? Why am I the key witness in a murder? I'm a photographer. And this is going on in the back of my head. And I spoke to my business partner, JB, and at this turning point, this is when we decided to really stray away from, we wanted nothing to do with the inner city. Because basically, we're giving evidence to the FBI and Boston police. And you got to understand, we're doing dance hall globally, right? So I'm in New York. I'm in Jamaica. We're in Europe. We're in Boston. We're in New England. So now when I'm in Jamaica, the Jamaican government, the United States government, you know what I'm saying? When you're at Pasa Pasa and where you're at Hot Mondays, and when you're in Montego Bay, and when you're recording dancehall in these garrisons in Jamaica, and we all know what's going on there, the FBI and the Jamaican government, they're trying to put pieces together here. So they're using me to put pieces together to solve crime. It's a reggae website. I don't want nothing to do with that. And that's one of the reasons why we've decided to like really, really stray away from it. So that's a little history of what's going on. So now let's go back a couple years ago. I think it was 2004. 2004, Jamaica is playing Trinidad in the World Cup. I think it's 2004. I might be wrong. It's 2004. We split up. Frizzy goes to 3Cs. I go to Unity, because that's where all the Trinis are. And this is a big game. Jamaica, is it Jamaica versus Trinidad? Or was it England versus Trinidad? I don't know. Either way, it was one of my countries. It was either England or Jamaica was playing Trinidad, and it was a big game. And I wanted to make sure I was in unity to make fun of all the Trinis as my country beat their country. Trinidad had one good player, which was York, and that was it. And I think either Jamaica beat Trinidad or England beat Trinidad. And it was great. I'm at unity, and I'm like happy that Trinidad sucks. And this was so cool. And everybody in Unity, you know, we're all laughing, me and Richie, Sound Vibrations, you know, we're all laughing because they're all Trini. And there's nothing better than to beat a Trini. You know what I'm saying? It's the greatest feeling because they just think that they're the shit. And it was great. My phone rings and it's Frizzy. I go, yo, what's going on, man? I thought he's calling me to congratulate me about the victory. He says, yo, they just killed blacks in 3Cs and our homie is shot. I said, what? Said, yeah, they just killed blacks in the club. And one of my homies that was standing next to blacks, talking to a girl, minding his own goddamn business, he gets shot in the foot. Because as the shooter shot blacks in the head, as blacks is falling down, the dude then double tapped him in the back. Like blacks was killed like professionally. Like the dude that killed blacks was legit. So as blacks is falling down, the dude continued shooting as blacks is falling down, and then the bullets as blacks is falling down, the dude shooting down, and then that's how he shot my buddy in the foot. So now my buddy's shot in the foot. He's on the ground yelling and crying and screaming. He has nothing to do with what's going on, right? Boston police comes, they shut down the club. No big deal, right? They just shut down 3Cs, they're gonna reopen it. The person that killed blacks literally killed me also. And I'm going to tell you why. I have not recovered financially from the killing of blacks. And that was 2004. It is now 2021. And I have not recovered financially from that act of violence. It's not a random act of violence because they know who they're shooting at. So get it right, news. There's no such thing as random acts of violence in the community. Those assassination attempts, they know who they're trying to kill. They're not just shooting randomly. So they got blacks. What people don't understand is when they killed blacks, that impact Boston was $1 billion in lost revenue. It's not just killing blacks. You took out $1 billion out of Massachusetts revenue. Well, I mean, $1 billion. Like, how could you? All the hairdressers in Boston, there's nowhere for women to go anymore to get the hair done. So hairdressers are not making any money. Right? There's no hair products being bought by the hair salons because there's no clients. Right? Combs, rubber gloves, shampoos, weave, all that revenue. There's no parties going on, so there's no need for hair to buy those supplies. Okay? Nail salons. Well, women don't have nowhere to go. So why are they doing their toes and feet? There's nowhere for them to go. So pedicure, manicures, you lose money that way, right? Barbershops. Barbershops are losing money because there's nowhere to go. Where are you going to go? 3C's is shut down, right? Nobody's buying a BMW. Nobody's shopping at Macy's. Nobody's buying Gucci. Nobody's buying Louis Vuitton. Nobody's buying nobody's buying stuff from the boosters. Now let's talk about selfishly what happened. You kill blacks. That means all the reggae artists that are coming to 3C's are not getting booked. So now a Jamaican artist in Jamaica on the grill beach, sipping margaritas, hanging out, eating jerk pork and jerk fish, he's losing money because he can't come to Boston to perform. So if the artist can't perform, right, that means the booking agency can't book shows, right? That means dub plates can't get cut, right? That means airlines are not, there's no flights. Because when a Jamaican artist move, when a reggae artist move, he's bringing 3 or 4, 6, 7, 8 people with them. So all those plane tickets are not being bought. So now that reggae artist is stuck in Jamaica. He can't perform in 3C's. So that's lost revenue. Now let's talk about me, okay? There's no ad dollars can't come in. There's no ad dollars coming in. You're not going to buy ads on BobbyShakes.com for a venue that's shut down. There's no photography. I'm not getting, well, photography's for free because we use the photography to put on the DVD covers. There's no DVDs being made. So because there's no DVDs being made, that means I can't sell DVDs because there's no venue. That means I'm not buying DVD covers from my supplier. That means I'm not buying DVDs. Because what am I going to sell? There's nothing to sell. My cousin Junior, who's making the flyers, there's no flyer revenue. There's no shows. So there's no need for him to make flyers. The DJs are not making money because there's nowhere to spin. The liquor companies are not making any money because there's no alcohol to sell. The club can't rent out the club because you can't rent out the club because it's under a murder investigation. What do you think? You think just shooting someone in a nightclub, the only people making money? So when we talk about Black Lives Matter and all this fucking bullshit about Black Lives Matter and we need to be black and fuck white people and all this other bullshit that y'all niggas fucking like to talk that bullshit, you're killing black people. So now what? Now Boston police is on my back because there's a murder now. Boston police is on my back. Boston police is running up and down. The whole city's tight. The whole city's on lockdown now. Listen, man, I'm not defending what blacks did. I understand street shit. I'm gang affiliated by blood. I'm not gang affiliated because my mommy and daddy doesn't like me. So I understand the streets. All I'm saying is if you want to take care of blacks outside of where people are making a living. People are making a living. This is how some of us eat. Innocent people are getting killed and shot for no reason. You killing blacks hurt my boy who has nothing to do with it. Now he can't work because his toe was blowing off. So now he can't work. He can't support his kids. Now he has to deal with his baby mama and her bullshit. Why are you at the nightclub? You shouldn't be at the nightclub. You should be with your babies. Honey, I just went out to listen to some music, have a drink. I didn't know that they were going to kill this dude standing beside me. Now I'm out of work for 6 months. He does a lot of construction in the city. So now a lot of projects in the city is held up. There's a ripple effect that affects everybody, not just the people that you're shooting at. And I think people need to start thinking about this and start to really meditate. Like a lot of y'all are smoking weed. I don't know what y'all smoking it for. Are you on a meditation or you just a drug user? A lot of y'all are just drug users. You smoke weed to hide your pain. Go and see a fucking psychiatrist, B. Go and see a social worker. Talk. You're not smoking weed and you're not on the heights of meditation. You're crazy. I'll give you another example. I'm at Clean Crew's Cookout 2 years ago. I'm in the back. It's late. Party's like died down. Everybody's leaving. And I'm there, you know what I'm saying? You're just chilling and you're just talking mad junk. And you know what I'm saying? I'm giving everybody a hard time. You know, you're eating the fish, jerk pork. I mean, the best part about Clean Crew's Cookout is not actually the cookout. It's when you get there before everybody gets there and when you chill at the end of the night. Because at the end of the night, that's when we can all sit around and we just talk. Yo, we talk reckless at that cookout. And you have one or two catties hanging around and everybody just talking reckless. We back there pulling out, chilling, talking reckless. It felt like every single police officer entered the backyard. Every single police officer entered the backyard. So I'm like, yo, what is this? White cop talking this bullshit. Oh, you guys are all going to jail. You guys are selling liquor. You guys are doing this. But like, yo, man, it's just a graduation party, officer. There was like 20 people left in the backyard. Oh, you guys all going to jail. The whole sound system is going to jail. Blah, 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 blah. I'm calling in the tow truck and we're this is how the white cop is acting, right? So then people in the cookout, they pull out their cell phones and then they start videotaping what's going on. Now I'm back there and I'm like, yo, man, I'm applying for my citizenship. But I can't be on no video of I'm at a cookout, you know, and people videotaping the cops and they're spinning the videotape around and I'm like trying to hide my face like, yo, I don't want to be on no video. Like when you apply for citizenship, it's like, yo, you got to be outstanding citizen. I don't want to be like on video at some cookout. And it's getting crazy back there. It's getting crazy. The big black boss for the Boston police comes back in the backyard and he calms the white boy down and he tells the white boy to leave and the police officer leaves. And then the black cop was like, yo, listen, man. Listen, you know, the black cop is like, yo, listen, man. This is what is what. So then everybody gets crazy. Why all these cops showing up? It's because we're black. And the cop is like, no. Tactically, you need, what is it? It's one police officer for 6 people, right? So if they believe, so you do the math. So if the Boston police thinks there's like 1,000 people at a cookout, you know how many police officers is coming because it's one police officer tactically for 6 people. And that's how they do crowd control. So that's why so many cops, and they surrounded the whole block, right? So it's like the whole police department there. And that's what he was saying. It's like that tactically, to keep us safe, we have to show with this many police officers, so if things gets out of control, we have enough police officers to confront and to calm stuff down. So you got to understand there's a whole bunch of white police officers on the force. A lot of them, this environment to those white police officers is very foreign and looks wild and looks out of control. Right? because we have a culture difference, right? It's like when you watch people in Spain throwing tomatoes at each other and running from bulls. Like they let bulls run live in the street. Like, why would you do that? Why would you want to get chased by bulls? But that's a culture thing. That's what they do. That's people's culture. So sometimes when you see people's culture, it looks a little foreign, and things that looks foreign and things that don't understand, it looks kind of scary. And then when things look scary, you get kind of apprehensive. And then, so you got these white cops like trying to figure out like, yo, what the hell's really going on? So now let's go forward a couple of years on the same street with another cookout. We have one person dead, 5 people shot. What are those white police officers now saying to that black cop, the sergeant or whatever he was? That black cop is basically directly linked to the murder 2 years later or 3 years later. Because if that black cop had followed the orders of the white cop and arrested everybody, took everybody's sound system and put Clean Crew in prison for what they're doing, and then you use Clean Crew as an example that these parties are not good, then we probably wouldn't have this murder, right? Because you got to scare people and you got to lock people up. But he was all like, the cop was like, because he understands, because he's black, he's like, yo, this is just a little party, it gets a little crazy. So now when you start to talk about Black Lives Matter and then you want to know why like white cops is on you, it's because this is what they're seeing. They're just human beings, man. They're just showing up, going to these parties. People are getting shot. People are getting killed. That's not a party. It's a massacre. To you, it sounds like a party. To you, it sounds like Gala Sunday. But to somebody outside of the culture, it sounds like a fucking massacre. It sounds like fucking Auschwitz, that you're putting people in fucking ovens, like you're killing people. Like, how are you at a cookout and you're killing people? Like, who does that? Where do you have cookouts and parties where people are getting killed? Like, I was at a family cookout Saturday. Nobody got killed. Nobody got shot. And I consider I consider all y'all my people. Like when I go to Clean Crew, you're my people. You're my family members. I've known you for 20 years. You've known me for 20 years. You've witnessed my growth. I've witnessed your growth. You're my people. Gala Sunday, those are my relatives. Those are my people. It's a family it's a family thing. And at a family thing, we're gonna kill and shoot each other? Like you have to really sit back and think. Like, I don't understand if I understand street stuff, but why? I would never ever go to a crack house or a trap house bored and be like, I'm going to start a fire in the first floor of the crack house. So now the fire police are going to come and the cops are going to come and they're going to lock everybody up because it's a crack house. Why are you doing that to us? Why are you coming to where we're trying to make a little bit of money and better ourselves and causing violence? Why are you doing that to us? Like, y'all should take that personal. Like, the person that killed blacks, I have no idea why he shot him, but that dude is my enemy for life. For life. He took money out of my pocket. The 2 dudes that was shooting at y'all should have beef with those 2 dudes. They are stopping your money. They're hurting your fans. Those are your fans, bro. People come out to a cookout to hear Cypress pray. Those are his fans. That's your fan base. Ghetto Hype, the people listening to you, DJ, those are your fans. They like you. They support you. Two assholes are hurting your fan base, B. It's been a rough 2 years. People want to go out. People want to hang out. Have a good time. Now you can't. Money stopped. People laid off. People can't work. Unemployment's running out in like 2 weeks. People just trying to make a little money. You can't make money in the nightclubs because the nightclubs hold all the liquor. So now you just want to make a little, you're just juggling a little bit. You're selling a couple of bottles. You're making a quick 10, 20 G's. Pay off. Give your baby mama some money. Get her off your back. Been rough 2 years. Here's 5, 6 G's. Gonna get my kids something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Want to give a couple of G's to your mom and pops. And then you want to go, you know, after you take care of everybody, you want to go downtown and want to buy yourself a Louis belt or a pair of Jordans and celebrate life. And these fucking assholes with the gun shit is coming to our venues and causing violence. Taking people's life. I heard the young lady that was killed. She has 3 kids. Who's gonna fucking raise her kids, guys? Who's gonna raise her kids? In a pandemic, we're coming off a pandemic. Like, what are we doing here? I get it. I get street shit. You got beef. Shoot that dude somewhere else. Because you're not going to stop violence. You can't stop violence. You ban guns. If you ban, there's no guns in prison, and people still killing each other in prison. They're making weapons out of fucking toothbrushes, and they're killing each other with toothbrushes. So even if you ban guns, people are still going to find a way to kill each other. They're going to hit each other with cars. They're going to stab each other. Then you ban knives. They're going to beat the guy till the guy's dead. So you can't stop crime. It's a bigger social, economic problem than just the obvious. But don't, if we're really going to be on this Black Lives Matters movement, and if it's supposed to be real, then let's keep it real. Keep Black Lives Matter real, like for real. Now the cops is on us for no reason. The city's tight right now. In an election year, those 2 idiots are going to kill a woman in an election year where women are fighting for rights, where there's a huge movement, the Me Too movement is going on, where people are trying to make better life and move forward and equality and justice. Come on, man. It's just bullshit. Bullshit. There's no excuse for it. Now, in an election year, the acting mayor is going to get tight. The city's going to be unlocked. All the little rats, because a lot of these gangsters are all rats. I mean, to really be a gangster, you got to be a rat. Let's be realistic. And nobody can tell me nothing, because that's how you become a gangster. You rat on other gangs. That's what gangsters do. It's no loyalty, street shit. So now all the rats are going to be ratting. So now if you're doing a little juggle, the cops is watching you. All the rats is out. Everything's tight. Carnival's coming. Like you really have to sit down and start to really If you're a shooter, like you really got to start to meditate, like what's really going on. Like this isn't a movie, B. I don't know if none of you guys ever shot a gun before, but once you press that trigger, you can't take the bullet back. If you've never shot a gun, that's what it's like. If once you press that trigger, that comes out. It's not like you could say something nasty to somebody and then say you're sorry and ease the pain a little bit. There's no easing the pain with a bullet. Once that bullet comes out, that bullet hits everybody. So now we have trauma in the hood. There's no mental health in the hood. A lot of black people the mental health problem in the hood is for real. My boy told me he was at the cookout. You could hear the bullets that missed and then the bullets that hit people. Can you imagine that? You could hear the bullets that missed and then the bullets that hit people. Because these two knuckleheads decided it would be a good idea to shoot people for shits and giggles. So now you have people with trauma. Then you have the victims with trauma, their family with trauma. And I know I said we're in a pandemic, but it doesn't matter if it's a pandemic or no pandemic. It's still trauma. People are still getting hurt. If you guys want to shoot it out, fine. Don't shoot it out fucking at the beach at night when nobody's there and kill each other, then drown your fucking self in the ocean, you bunch of cocksuckers. But stop bringing that bullshit around people that are just trying to live their life innocently. We have nothing to do with y'all. We're not at a cookout to spectate gladiator bullshit. Fine. If it was a gladiator, if that thing was a gladiator party where you pay to come in and watch people shoot each other and you get hit, then yeah. It's like get hit with a baseball at Fenway Park. But we're not there to spectate violence. We're there to have a good time. Show off our Jordans, drink our Remy, listen to some music, talk to that dude who we think is cute, holler at that shorty with the fat ass, and have a good time. Instead, we're running for our fucking lives. So many people's hurt today. I was 30 minutes away from that nonsense. And it affected me emotionally. So many people are affected by this, I don't even know the victims. It's crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. It's crazy. Now, as a black man in the city, you're driving down the street with tint on, cops are going to be on you. Because we got to solve this murder, right? We have a dead female. We got to solve this murder. So now all what we have fought for, George Floyd and the hundreds of thousands of black people that's been killed by police all over, all of that shit just flushed down the toilet. It's just flushed down the toilet. Just flushed down the toilet. Why? Because we don't understand crime, right? We put a Band-Aid on crime. We think harassing people and locking people up stops crime. It doesn't. We're not educated yet on mental health to understand how do we prevent crime through mental health. So now there's going to be more police harassment. Because how do you control these niggas? They shoot each other at cookouts. That's the narrative. How do you control them? We got to fly down on them. You see two walking down the street, got to fly on them. Throw them to the ground, search them. This is the mentality of what we're up against. That was New York City, stop and frisk. Like, how do we stop violence? Well, I mean, you educate people and you give people opportunity. That's how you stop violence. But they don't see it that way. How we stop violence? We do stop and frisk. You see 6 black people, do y'all know 6 black people walking down the street is considered a gang. Cops fly down on you, throw you on the ground, search you. So now that young black kid playing basketball has nothing to do with y'all dumb niggas. Now begins to develop a mistrust with the police. Never ending cycle. When would it end? I don't know. But somebody's got to start talking some real shit about this. And that's what this video is real. I mean, this is just real. I mean, we need black leadership that's not sugarcoating shit. We need mental health. We need opportunities for everybody to make money. We got to protect our fucking women, boys. So if we're really gonna do this Black Lives Matter movement for real, then let's do it for real and stop bullshitting. All right, people. Love y'all. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Top 5 and I off 'em. Put this game up in the coffin. No lights, no ceilings. More drugs, no feelings. Money, so appealing. Look at what I'm peeling. Post a Henny, drop a pillin'. Stepped out, but I'm stealing. Culture vultures, y'all stealing. Gun blast, drug dealing. I got no feeling, told you amateurs. Already told you to pack it up. Culture vultures, get away from me. We done been through everything from A to Z. Take a look at us, we on one and y'all that we never cooling off. Never catch me slowing down. Independent, making large amounts. Make you jump through the bounce. Remember when they didn't want to hear me out. Reminisce about them skinny. Now I'm smoking by the ounce. Even though I'm still leasing, I know I could buy a house. I could get it like that. Fact, notify the people, listen rap. Flowing off my mind is somewhere in Jupiter. One-on-one, you got no deal what I do to get dipping, dabbing. I'm a maneuverer, pour a deuce up in the soda. I screw it up, cool, but I'm cooler, bro. I show you some shit that be new to you. I'm switching through lanes and I'm losing it. Levels be moving up. Don't try to fool with us, bro. Got the truly touch chef when I cook it up. Let me mix this shit right. Yellow bus, pink Sprite. I'm on a vibe all night. Shoomies made me think twice, spinning more than once. Fresh up in the cut, rolling up the skunk. Got it all on me, I ain't tryna stunt. At it all night so we see the sun, I told you. No lights, no ceilings. More drugs, no feelings. Money, so appealing. Look at what I'm peeling. Post a Henny, drop a pillin'. Stepped out, but I'm stealing. Culture vultures, y'all stealing. Gun blast, drug dealing.
Charisma. Baby hands. Yeah. They say nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. My homie said nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Hey, they sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. And they get stuck. Maybe it's Maybelline, we make amazing scenes, living our days and dreams. Y'all keep y'all gazes me. Those who hate believe, trouble stay with me like it relate to me. My G, my pray for me. That's when the stars align. There's some space for me. Background check for a chopper. Queen pin hustle can't knock. Trying not to lose my mind like I'm using flopper. Mixed in vodka, you can't top it with a plan so proper. Open my work, know I am your partner. Position so illicit that you need a prescription or a demand for a doctor. How long we been at it forever? That's who's admitted in my gym locker. Would've never kept this shit in my crib had I known that been watching. Y'all still talking on that phone. One day you're here, then the next you gone. Nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. My homie said, nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Hey, they sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. Yeah, pills kept you up. Them pills kept me up. At the spot on Damage Drive, that hills lined up. With them snaps though, that coca maker come back though. From the street look like my trap slow, cause they only come to the back though. Same shit on dropping, with the corn we popping. Mike could tell me what he want, cause his jaw kept locking. My girl just pulled up, with a half a brick in a cereal box. Guess we call them digital pops. Ran through the scales, my digital pop. I fed everybody, some got it, and some doubt it. With no limits, matching them pieces, cause I'm about it. Hey, Eagles said they wanna hear my story. On my Ryan Leslie shit, and I'ma get my glory. Nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. My homie said, nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Hey, they sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke. They sleep like they rich. I'm up like I'm broke.
They told me I should never trust a soul, but somehow I let her in, oh no. Told me I should never